Well, this isn't going to be a tutorial or anything. We harvested a hog yesterday. I just learned something accidentally. There's I guess this is the H-bone, and just by moving this leg like that, I found out where that intersection is and where I need to cut this thing. So that was a very fortuitous accident, but I'm just gonna take this half apart. I did the other half yesterday, and we started running out of daylight. So it was in the low 30s last night, high 20s. So we just left it hanging. I'm out here in the barn. We just left this hanging, and it's still in the 30s right now, but it's a comfortable day. It's gonna get up. May get up into the 50s. I don't know. It's looking good so far. So, like I said, I'm not going to do a tutorial on this because I've only done this. This is the second time I've done it. It'll be the fourth time I've butchered a carcass, but the second pig. I just wanted to talk about, raising and basically feeding yourself. Just like everybody else, I wasn't raised like this. Nobody was. Butcher shops were on the way out when I was a kid in the early 70s. I remember one butcher shop my mom used to go to. That was a legit butcher store. And I think there was another one on across town. It may still even be there. I'm not sure. In my hometown. But I remember, after that closed, you still had to go to the after that store closed, you had to go to the local, and it was local grocery store. It wasn't a chain, and you could still get like pickled pig's feet in a jar, and you could get tripe. Mom used to fry tripe all the time, which is cow stomach. You could pretty much still get all the cuts at the grocery store, but good luck finding tripe today. It ain't gonna happen unless you go to one of those like a Mexican carniceria, which are all over the place in Atlanta, but that's because there's a huge population of Latinos there. But I don't know, there might be one in Springfield, but I'm not sure they cut meat, and who knows anything about that supply chain. But it was I was in my 40s before I actually, butcher shops are coming back, and that's a good thing. But it's a response to the declining quality of food that's gone on in this country since I was a boy and way before then. And it's good to see, but they're still few and far between. I don't know of one in Springfield. There used to be one, but they closed. Their other location may still be open. I haven't been over there for a long time. It's called I can't think what it's called. It's German. Yeah, it was probably 5-6 years ago, before in Atlanta there was a real butcher shop that opened up that was bringing farm raised products from outside of Atlanta into their storefront, which was the size of a postage stamp, and you know, making bacon, all kinds of sausages, just all kinds of stuff that you would have seen in a butcher store back in the day. And I'm sure there's places like that, say in huge cities like New York, because you know where there's a big Italian population. I think there's supposed to be a German shop like that not too far from here. I haven't been there yet. I should go check that out. Schrock's, I think is what it's called. I need to go check that out. There's a big German population, Mennonite Amish too, which I think are mostly German. They speak Pennsylvania Dutch. You can't understand anything. Even if you speak German, you can't understand. I can't. So I'm liking this table I built. I'll link a video up here to that. And this was a good height for a table. You know, actually, I'm glad I let this hang, because right now this thing's a little bit easier to work, because it's, you know, it's stiffened up and the fat is congealed. Yesterday it was real flabby. I mean, shaking like Jello kind of. This is going to be easier to work on. I'm glad I'm learning something. Yeah, like I said, though, you know, none of us grew up doing this. This went out probably when our grandparents were young, for the most part. I mean, are still some people here and there, but it's coming back. That's the good thing. So you can watch a ton of videos on how to kill a pig and do all that stuff. I'm not going to make videos about that. You know, it's not easy to kill your animals that you raise. It's not something anybody relishes. Like I was saying, it's never easy to have to, you know, kill the animals you raise, but if you're gonna say you're getting out of the, you know, the industrial food system, and you don't actually do it, you know, what's the point? So it's hard, but you know, once you start taking charge of the quality of what you're eating, it's very empowering, and there's a huge, large degree of satisfaction and meaningfulness about it. And this is not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. It's, it's no wonder there's an industry, when it comes to food, because people don't, well, if you don't have a farm in the first place, how are you ever going to keep any animals? And so once you start living in a city, you're pretty much dependent on that system, and you don't have a whole lot of choice in the matter. But if you make that leap to be a homesteader and grow your own food, raise your own food, and you can start taking charge of what it is you eat. You know what, this is so much easier. I think there's just one little tiny bone right there. It's a piece of cartilage. Voila. Man, I mean, you do this a time or two and it just starts making all kinds of sense. I never saw myself doing this back in the, but, you didn't have so much, you didn't have as many problems as you do today with the food system. And all the sickness, and, you didn't have crazy systems that were these crazy food systems where you put 25,000 chickens in one building, or you put 2,000 hogs in a building. That's not a barn. That's a factory. I'm in a barn. This is a barn. When you have a concrete floor, stainless steel walls, and pens, that's a factory. Stop calling them barns. You're not fooling anybody. And around here, there's a ton of chickens and turkeys. Mostly Mennonites do that. They're self-contained. You don't even know what's going on, but they're just full of thousands of chickens and birds. That's why there's a big non-GMO grain demand for this area, and that's why we can get non-GMO corn and other non-GMO stuff, which actually they stopped doing it, but another company picked it up, another outfit picked it up down the road, so we'll see. So far I've been able to keep getting it, but the corn, the guy told me, comes over on a boat from Europe, and I guess they barge it through Lake Okeechobee, and they bring it up Mississippi to Arkansas, and they truck it here. And they said that all that feed goes to these chickens. There's non-GMO fed chickens. They're not free range. They're just, they're in these big metal buildings. And then he said that all the chicken is then, after they butcher it, they ship it all to California for non-GMO chicken. I guess that's something, but it's not. I think it's still greenwashing. So anyway, I need to get busy. So I need a bowl. I didn't bring a bowl out here. Dadgummit. You can render this into lard, but the best lard comes from this part right here, which we took yesterday, which is the leaf lard. And I'm not going to try to show you this because this is not a tutorial. And then I'm just going to clean this up. Bearded Butchers have a real good tutorial on this. Matter of fact, I watched like twice this morning, twice yesterday. Very good tutorial. One of the best, probably the best, maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen them all. My problem is it's hard when the pig's hanging the saw straight down the center of the spinal cord, so you get exactly equal halves. So this side was yesterday. The other half had the vertebrae. This has been cut off, but I did a better job this time than I did last time. So this is pretty nice. Now, if you had a bandsaw, you could do exactly equal halves. You could probably do it with one of those bone saws, but I'm not that good. Okay, I know what he did. He went 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cut it right there. I may not even need to do that. I could probably do it with a knife. Yeah. Probably gonna have to cut this. Yeah. Alright. Just gonna take some of this fat off. So I'll just have to sort this later. Yeah. Maybe that's the neck bone right there, I guess. Yeah. I suppose. Now this is going to be the Boston butt, shoulder. This is the side. I'm going to just cut these ribs out of here. I don't know what I'm doing. That's why this is not a tutorial. I get sick and tired of people doing videos of something, that they've only done once. And that's why this is not a tutorial at all. Because I haven't done this enough. I just wanted to talk about, raising food or raising animals and doing things at home. I think that's what that's what this whole homestead movement's about. Don't know what I'm doing. No, I kind of know what I'm doing, but I'm not good at it. I don't have any experience, is what I mean to say. I'm just trying to take these ribs out. Oops. A little too close on that. I don't want to mess up my bacon. The bacon's behind these ribs. I took that other side this morning and got it started on the brine, on the cure, some maple syrup. So that'll be salted and curing for the next 5 days or so, and then we'll smoke it. I'll do a video on smoking it because those videos are popular. But that's the reason why we do what we do. I mean, you know, my wife gutted and skinned the pig yesterday. I'm not good on that. Well, let's just say that it's better for the two of us to have our separate tasks. So, you know, I did the deed and we hung it up. I got a little hoist right here, and then she cleaned it. She's better at that than I am, and I'm impatient. We'll get to going at each other if I don't get out of her way. So after she finished that, you know, I do the breakdown, which I'm comfortable with doing this. The gutting and all that's just I'm not good with that. And it helps to have a good sharp knife, and this is a Victorinox. It's an 8-inch breaking knife, and I bought this a while back, and I did not let anybody touch it until yesterday. So it was razor sharp when we started. So I sharpened it this morning, which my knife sharpening, I don't know how those guys do that thing. Every time I do that, knife gets duller. But I can sharpen it with I've got Arkansas stone. So I sharpened it this morning. It probably needs it again though. A real butcher would have had this done by now. Alright, so there's the ribs. That leaves this beautiful bacon. I'm gonna cut fat off that. This is fat back. To render this down. Make good lard. I cook everything with lard. It's not bad for your heart either. I just had a coronary calcium score. My score was 0. All I cook is lard. I eat eggs every day and red meat and pork. It's just all that stuff's a fallacy. You know, BS is what it is. I mean, it's what people ate forever, and doesn't clog your arteries. What clogs your arteries is artificial stuff like corn oil or something they have to do an industrial process. Your body doesn't know what to do with that, and then cholesterol shows up to fight that inflammation, and they blame cholesterol for, you know, giving people heart attacks. It's ass backwards, but that's not for this video. Fatback makes real good lard, but it's not as clean as the leaf lard, the lard that's right here, and that stuff's once you render that down, it's just creamy. Even straight out of the fridge, it's creamy. Alright, so I guess this is my tenderloin. Not tenderloin, this is my loin. So it looks like I need to kind of go at an angle. But they always cut theirs square. What to do? Gotta work. It's the loin. I'm gonna cut off a lot of this fat. This will be good. Good for rendering. I ought to do some today. I ought to render that leaf flower today. Alright, so there's my pork belly ready for bacon. I'm going to trim this side up a lot. It's got kind of got carved up yesterday. But yeah, once you make your own bacon, time or two, you don't want anything else, especially, you know, when you have a smoker, you can smoke your own stuff. I'll put up a video of the smokehouse build, and you can check that out if you want to. You know, I'm in a barn, and which, you know, government would frown upon, but there's birds flying around, and I don't know, it just seems like a natural place to do this sort of a thing, you know, instead of some sterile facility, which I realize if you're going to do mass production for people, you gotta do it. So that's why we have a farm.